What is up, guys? PK here, and in today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at Vermintide's uncrowned king of OnlyFans, the Foot Knight. For real, what up guys, PK here, and in today's video we're gonna be taking a look at the Foot Knight. And yeah, this is another quick build guide. We're gonna be taking a look at two different builds and sort of two different play styles of the Foot Knight in particular. Gonna talk about his talents and item builds real quick, and then as always we're gonna look through some gameplay at the end. First, we're going to take a look at a Cataclysm quick play game, as always, and then we're going to take a little bit of a look at a Onslaught squared game that I had with a couple of my moderators. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy, and let's get to it. So obviously, as the uncrowned king of OnlyFans, that is obviously the reason why Cooper can afford this glorious armor. I mean, just look at all that bling bling. Only an OnlyFans account can make you that rich. You know it. It's a fact. All that foot fit. Okay, I promise. Let's get serious. Now, the two primary varieties of the Foot Knight that I personally like to play is the serious one, which is using the sword and shield. Of course, the Foot Knight can't actually use the Bretonnian sword and shield, which is kind of sad, but nonetheless, the stagger version and sort of the frontliner, tankish support hero, I mean, I don't know if it's right to call him a support, but essentially the immortal Foot Knight, right? And for this guy, usually what you're going to be focusing on is stagger power. Back off ugly for stagger power, staggering force, increasing your stagger power. Either enhanced power, bulwark is also a viable option. Personally, I like enhanced power for two reasons. I feel like the 10% extra damage here, even though it applies to everyone, I feel like it's not as strong as getting both sort of a 7.5% multiplier to both your stagger power, but also to your range DPS, because you are also going to be helping killing specials. So for that reason, I personally prefer enhanced power, but an argument could easily be made for bulwark. As for the level 20 talent, the series version, I prefer to use Rock of Reichland. Again, increasing the AoE effect of your passive, which reduces damage taken by 15%, as well as adding a 20% block cost reduction to that same aura. So that's a 15% reduction to damage and a 20% block cost reduction for your whole team. Because again, when you double the AoE effect, that's a really strong passive presence, right? Like, that is going to help keep your team alive in so many different situations. Then moving on here, down here, I personally prefer getting counterpunch. Blocking an attack removes the stamina cost of pushing for 1 second. Now 1 second may not sound like a lot, but free pushes is like everything to this dude. When you're the frontliner and you're constantly using a combo, which I'll get into momentarily, really free pushing, it is taking the one thing you're doing the most and making it completely free, which makes it really strong. As for your ulti talent, it sort of varies. Sometimes I'm a little bit split here, and again, the two builds we're going to be talking about, there are combinations of the two. You don't necessarily have to do one or the other, but personally, if I were to play quick play, then I would likely be getting the Bull of Ostland, because otherwise I would feel like my attack speed was simply too slow. If I was playing sort of Onslaught or something more serious, I would likely be using the Numb to Pain, making you invulnerable for 3 seconds. It's hero time, also another great talent. Whenever an ally is incapacitated, you get your ulti straight back, but I don't feel like it's nearly as strong as Counterpunch. And really, the thing about him is you can you're capable of getting your ulti back really quickly simply by doing pushes into shield bashes. So simply by doing pushes into shield bashes, you're capable of regenerating your ulti fairly quickly already. So I don't feel like its hero time is really necessary when playing seriously, but it is a lot of fun, especially when playing quick play. Now, the thing about the sword and shield is you do a push into a heavy attack, and that's gonna allow you to do that stagger combination here, where you're pushing, shield bashing, pushing, shield bashing, pushing, shield bashing. Now, for those of you that don't know, a shield bash is sort of like the first heavy attack on the flaming sword. It has an infinite amount of cleave. Now, it doesn't do a lot of DPS, but it has a really high stagger in a low area, a medium stagger in a medium area, and a low stagger in a huge area. So you can essentially, you're gonna hit a lot of enemies in a single attack, right? Because of the infinite cleave, if you have a really dense horde, you're essentially hitting all of them. And for that reason, due to the effects of an ultimate being sort of regenerated by attacking and hitting stuff, as you can see, I believe from memory that it's half a second per enemy hit on the Foot Knight. That allows you to really regenerate your ulti extremely quickly. Now, I can just give a quick example here. And I know that's a fairly high density, right? But that's not uncommon on higher difficulties. Look at that. Of course, all of them are dying because I believe the difficulty of the keep is set low at the moment by default. But nonetheless, if you saw just how much you get back for that, that's kind of insane. Now, this is the first build. Then there's a secondary build I want to talk about, which is a lot more fun. And you're going to be seeing both builds in the gameplay section of this video. But let's load up this build here. Now, oh, actually, I forgot to show you guys just really quickly. It doesn't matter that much because the builds are actually fairly similar in that stamina and health is one way to go. Block cost reduction and health is another way to go. Here you go, health and block cost, or health and stamina. Those are the two defaults. Again, with the spear and shield, I'm going to be going crit chance, block cost, and Swiss slaying. Whereas with the defense build here, load on, you're going to be going attack speed, block cost, and opportunist. And again, you want to get the maximum from your stagger power. With the repeater handgun, which is my favorite ranged weapon for the Cooper, I'm going to be going crit chance and power versus Skaven. Critical chance for two reasons. First of all, because I combine it with Scrounger in order to get as much ammo back as possible without having to bother with headshots. And the critical hit is also going to increase the amount of shots where you one-shot a special, right? And the 10% power versus Skaven is in order to hit certain breakpoints. You have 10% power versus Chaos on your charm. On the trinket on high difficulties, I would be with the stagger build here with the opportunist. I would not be running crit chance stamina recovery here because you don't really. I mean, you can get the crit chance simply for the one shots for your ranged weapon, but you can also get something like movement speed and stamina recovery. But I would always be getting stamina recovery. That is the one sort of foundation, and then you have a secondary trait which you can vary depending on preference. Again, cooldown reduction is one option, crit chance is another option for those ranged shots. You can also be getting movement speed. That's probably what I would be getting if I was playing Onslaught. So plenty of options here to vary your build. Again, the orange effects aren't that important. Again, you could be going decanter if you're selfish. You can be going proxy if you're a team player. Explosive ordnance is my personal preference, but it's not like you couldn't be going shrapnel either. I think bark skin is definitely essential. And yeah, that's it for the item properties. Let's move on to the secondary build here, which is a spear and shield build. Now here we are going to be going for swift slaying, crit chance, and block cost reduction, the weapon default, the exact same repeater handgun. As for the necklace here, you can also be going both the stamina, you could also be going for the block cost, same charm, and pretty much the same deal with the trinket, except here I would be more inclined to be going for the crit chance because you want to be activating that Swiss slaying. Now, of course, on lower difficulties, where you're also going to be picking up grimoires, I would be running curse resistance and stamina recovery. Now, this is a bit more of an active build. That is to say, this build we are going to be getting the attack speed ulti, and we are going to be getting the staggering and elite increases power. Actually, I'm a bit torn here on which is better, but I actually think damaging multiple enemies, I've changed my mind since I made this build. I actually think damaging multiple enemies might be the right one here, but honestly, I feel like they're both viable. I would have to do more testing in order to really determine if one of them is significantly better than the other with the spear and shield, but I feel like they're definitely both viable. I want to say one is better than the other, but I think it's hard to say without doing proper tests. And I have been playing with both, and they've both felt sort of the same. So I'm sure one of them is slightly better than the other, but I apologize for not knowing specifically with the spear and shield if there's an incline for one or the other. But I think I would be going for the multiple enemies. Now, the thing is with the spear and shield is, of course, it does not have a shield bash, unlike the spear, sword and shield. Now, because it doesn't have a shield bash, it plays in a lot more of an active way. You're going to be way more mobile due to the push into heavy attack here, and you're going to be cleaving a lot more. You're going to be damaging a lot more. You're damaged. 𝒮𝔞𝔤𝔢𝔯𝔮𝔲𝔞𝔡, welcome to the Swaggerback squad. So you're going to be a lot more mobile and deal a lot more damage. So your numbers are going to be higher, right? There's no doubt about it. Now, this is also a build where you could be going for Comrade in Arms. And I could see the logic there. It is definitely the selfish choice here, but you are still going to provide a 50% damage reduction to your nearest ally, a 10% increase to power, both to you and to your ally, but you are going to be taking the damage reduction and the block cost. None of that is going to apply anymore, and I would say this is the better choice. It is. I know you want that 10% extra power to increase your damage numbers just a little bit more, but the Rock of the Rhineland is the right choice, I would say. Unless you're doing like something like a true duo, then obviously you're going to be running Comrade in Arms. But in most cases, Rock of the Rhineland, I would say, is the better choice here. Now, I would definitely, again, be running for enhanced power, because that's a huge part of what you provide to the team in this instance, because you do have tanky aspects, but you're no longer that immortal frontliner who's just, constantly staggering for other people. And so a lot of the time here, you still need to pull out your gun and kill specials. That is a huge part of your DPS output. Also for armored minions in certain cases, as you're going to be seeing in the gameplay part of this video, I pull out my gun a lot, because that is a huge part of getting those damage numbers out does come from your repeater handgun. There's no doubt about it. Now, one thing you need to know how to do is to block cancel. And not necessarily for any attack combos. I mean, as far as attack combos are concerned, it's fairly simple. With the sword and shield, you have the push into heavy. That's the push attack into a shield bash, and then you just repeat that. Then you have your light attacks. That's what you're going to be using for hordes. Then you have a push block attack into a heavy. That's what you use for armored. That is the same combo here: push block attack into a heavy for armored. And you can also push in your third heavy attack here, because it actually has pretty good DPS as well, especially for armored minions. As for infantry, you have two combos. You have heavy, light, cancel, heavy, light, cancel. That's one option. And then you have the light, cancel, light, cancel, right? And you can put in a push as well if you need to. Because you are going to be needing a push here and there, right? So, but you don't have to put it in every single time. So the key is just that you can cancel like this, and add in a push whenever you need. And then of course you have the heavy light, right? So those are sort of the three ways you're going to be dealing with trash minions. Now, but the important thing about block canceling here is not just for the combos, it's for your ultimate ability. Now, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with this, but let's say I am going to use my ulti now, right? And as you can see, you're going to be charging forward. Now, with this ultimate, let's say that we have a Chaos Warrior in the way, what is known as a Great Foe. Again, that is what you can cancel with this ulti. Let's say here, there's a Chaos Warrior. That's going to stop my movement. Of course, if I were to have this ultimate here, I could go right through him. But most of the time, you're not going to be having that, right? But essentially, what is really important is that you can also stop using your block cancel. You see? At any point, I don't have to go anywhere. You see? And that is an important mechanic to learn and master. Now, you don't want to cancel it too fast, because if you cancel it too fast, then there won't be any effect, even on the minions right in front of you. So sometimes you want to let it run for just a moment before you actually cancel it. And that's something you practice along the way, but this is just really important to keep good positioning, because whenever you're fighting at a bottleneck with your whole team, you don't want to be charging through that and end up on the other side and be surrounded, right? So it's a super important mechanic to learn how to utilize, And that's pretty much it. That's all I had to say here for now. I think we should move on to some gameplay. So let's take a look at some gameplay footage here. Got 2 different clips for you. This is a quick play on Cataclysm difficulty, where they happen to be playing Twitch mode. Which I feel like added a little bit of extra flair now that my otherwise perfect game, where I forgot to click record. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, that really was a bit bothersome. It was just such an amazing display, but nonetheless, we move on in life. And this was also a great game. Although we did have a fuck up further on in the game that caused us to die. Now, in this first game, felt like I hit that, but okay. Not gonna lie, I was a bit mad there that didn't count. But what was I saying? Yeah, here in the first game, we're obviously using the slightly more mobile and more active killer build with the spear and shield.
Northlander Knights on your toes, mates.
Just barrel place. Didn't really work out, but that's not the point. The point was that I went for it. Barrel place or no place. That is the philosophy.
Rest is for later.
I don't want burning
Just ignore that one.
Kill that warfire thrower. Yeah, that
Notice I'm very active in trying to help with special kills.
That's a chaos warrior.
Get down, 𝒮𝔞𝔤𝔢𝔯𝔞𝔡.
Notice here I'm using the heavy into light there. Transitioning into some push block attacks into heavies for the elites. I was a bit lucky, not gonna lie. That assassin might as well have hit me. I think my teammate here. Keeping half an eye on the assassin. Boom, there we go. 2 assassins down. Obviously they're always going to be priority when you have that many assassins active.
One less leech. Oh, slap that black rat.
Making sure to get in that reload, because the reload time can feel at least fairly long for the Foot Knight and the repeater handgun. Going down here to check for some extra items. Woo. You see, if you want to get in those damage numbers and really provide a lot of value with this build, the one that uses the spear and shield, then I do think that it's imperative that you're also actively helping out with your special killing, in order to really justify not getting the shield version. No, just not the shield, but the real shield version. You know what I mean? The sword and shield. Which does provide more of that sort of frontliner that creates space, and is the right way to go if you're playing something like Onslaught with a pre-made team. But again, in quick play, it's a different mechanic, right? A lot of the time, you're not even going to be given the chance to provide the value due to positioning that you would otherwise be able to provide, even with the real Foot Knight build, right? Whatever you want to call it. Because a lot of the time, people don't care much for positioning in quick play, which is, you know, can't really blame them for that. There's always, not always, but often going to be a lack of communication And again, we weren't really talking here either, so that in of itself is going to make it hard to really provide the value you want to provide with the sword and shield. So, which is why I included this build as well, because I also feel like this build is a bit more fun. Let's be real, especially in quick play. I had again a bunch of quick play games with the sword and shield, and for most of those games, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit boring. It honestly did. Again, because it was only when my team really fucked up big time that I really could provide and show the value of the Foot Knight, right? Because whenever they didn't, I was just a frontliner that they weren't really using for anything.
The gunner's dead! Gas rat! It's a gas rat! Oi! Over here!
Things are about to get a little bit more spicy.
Oh, my God! Either it's not worth more than
For my fire!
Get in there!
Then actively hunting out those specials. Really actively hunting them out, actually, because the first time I joined, playing with the same team on the same map, also with Twitch mode, there was this one game where I've been killing a lot of specials, right? And I ran out of ammo, and there was just no ammo for ages. And I just noticed how no specials were dying for the longest time. And so I was really focused on taking out specials this round.
Something in the shadows, mate.
Not almost. That was a bit close, not gonna lie.
That's better. One less chaos warrior.
Assassin rat dead!
Bloody Globadier.
Brilliant! Killer!
Don't try to stop me.
Damn.
Big friend. Gas rat.
Them sirens.
You're not doing it right for it!
Now level 2 of them. I think. That was hard to spot.
Why do the Rothrads love this swamp? In my experience, scanners can be neutralized almost anything. Perhaps salt and water.
What's the matter, Kentucky? Can't get off.
But again, what this build does allow you to do is sort of a nice balancing act between you're both providing sort of like your mere presence is providing a lot to the team, just in the damage reduction, the block cost reduction. So without being like a full-on support, you are nonetheless providing more than you might realize to the survival of your team simply by not being dead. And as you can see, it's extremely easy to get full 10 charges from your ultimate, giving you quite a bit of attack speed. Again, you don't even need 10 enemies to hit 10 charges. I actually forgot to mention that. On a single enemy, you can get like 2 to 3 charges for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but Also, that was an interesting mechanic right there. I got hit by an assassin, and somehow when it got pushed off me, then I got moved, I guess. It's almost as if the push effect only arrived after it got pushed off me. Not exactly sure why that is the case. But I've been practicing a lot of Foot Knight recently, and actually had a pretty good time, not gonna lie. He can actually be a lot more fun than I initially thought. Because again, the Foot Knight and the Ranger Veteran and the Iron Breaker, those were probably my 3 least played classes, like overall, of all time. But I've actually really been having a good time on the Foot Knight lately, I really have. Also just because he isn't played that much, like it's rare to see a good Foot Knight. So whenever you do provide the team with a good Foot Knight, I feel like whenever you see a Foot Knight who knows what he's doing, you know that guy just knows what he's doing in general. You know what I mean? Because very few people play a good Foot Knight. Like, because you know these days it's all about the Grill Knight, which no blame, love the Grill Knight. But he doesn't have a helmet. It's cool. Absolutely love that Jason hockey mask metal helmet. I think it's probably one of the coolest helmets in the game. Goddamn Iron Breaker passive.
Look out, it's gonna blow. Are you aiming for me, elf? I've lost mates to Chaos Warriors.
Now,
Don't wanna lose more.
in a few minutes, I'm gonna make a huge positional mistake. You can see I drew the shortest straw on that vote before, so now I'm at 7 HP. Great. But I'm gonna make a huge positional mistake on the basis of not trusting my team. That's the truth. Due to the 2 previous games we played, I'm not gonna lie, once we had a Minotaur, looking at... I mean, the fact that I had no ammo, people were getting low, they had no items, we had a Minotaur, and I believe a Chaos Patrol. There was just a bunch of reasons that made me, okay, shit, I need to get to some ammo right now, or we're fucked, right? That was my thinking. And really, as it turns out, my team actually managed just fine, and I ended up dying out of position. And then my team, yeah, they went on just fine, and I believe it ended up with the Battle Wizard clutch, which I have cut out because it's not Foot Knight related, so I apologize for that. But Nelock the Divine played really well and clutched it out. Managed to get the revive up. Oops. And make it to the event. So props to that. But it was a moment of simply based off the 2 games we'd had. I did not believe, that's the truth, I did not believe my team were gonna survive. If I weren't able to get some ammo so we could take out specials, I thought we were gonna be fucked, and that was sort of the logic behind rushing forward and sort of leading my team in order to look for ammo. I mean, if we had actually been communicating here, really what we should have done is all of us should have moved this direction, because again, if you look at our items right now, we are fairly low, right? We could use some supplies, and we know there's gonna be supplies further ahead at the spot up here. So really we should have moved over here as a unit, right? Instead, I drank my speed pot, I rushed ahead to look for ammo, and I ended up getting screwed over on my way back. And I'm not gonna, I thought my team would be dead by now. It's the honest truth. In the moment, I was like, when I saw that revive there, I was like, yep, they're fucked. So I rushed back to help them here. And I believe in a moment here, gonna be a Chaos Warrior that I had no idea was even there. Right? That snuck, like, I have no idea where that Chaos Warrior came from. I mean, I assume it came from the Battle Wizard porting past me, but yeah, I was not prepared for that. So I was dead for a fair amount of time. Again, canceling here to do the cleavage combo, so to speak. Not that kind of cleavage, but all cleavage is good. Doesn't matter, boobs or horde cleavage. Both are amazing and we love both on this channel. Hashtag demonetize. No, I'm kidding. God, I was a little bit salty about being dead for so long. So I overcompensated a little bit here. This didn't, nope. The rush was further behind than I thought. God damn it. No headshot arenas. Nothing much honestly happened until we get to the boss fight. Just more of the same. And we also have a second game to look at, so
Do you want blood of me, Master Dwarf?
Just thought you'd like some peace and quiet, that's all. Spare us your skin, too.
And what's wrong with my singing?
Hack me down if you can. I need no aid against weakling Southlanders.
shut up, Butler.
Look at that armored brute. We're blatant set.
Good old Butler. And yeah, because we were playing Twitch mode, that's a Chaos Patrol. And in such a situation, you obviously want to clear out the Chaos Patrol as quickly as possible. Bloodvar obviously is going for me, because he doesn't like me. Can't hit shit, Bloodvar. Problem, Budvar! Goddamn Budvar. You see, got 3 charges there, for example, despite the fact that I only hit Budvar. Fuck down, Bodvar. Didn't get my reload through there. And then, of course, we have the Chaos Spawn that suddenly popped in. This Bodvar was too scared. But was like, help me! Help me! Goddamn pussy Bodvar. Calculated. Ouch. Die, you mother. There we go. Got in the quad bar. Fucking beta. That's not gonna lie, that freaked me out. Ah! And Chaos Spawns do that when they warp through space and time. That was pretty much it. So despite being absent for quite a while, I think we did fairly alright. It's these 39 special kills, the primary special killer on the team. And, you know, despite the fact that we're a tanky class, we still managed to out-DPS both a secondary tanky class and a Haymaiden. So I think we did fairly well, all things considered, even though it was by no means a perfect run. And now we're going to move on to a Onslaught squared run with some of my mods. Now, you can't hear my mic, but you can hear theirs.
If you want, we could switch after this, and I could play Kruber. Alright.
Yeah, you can see that.
Yeah. Nothing a good one. A good one.
Enforcing a strict no
What?
spell policy.
I will be dead in the first 2 minutes. A good recording.
I'm not gonna lie, shortly after this I did switch to the Grail Knight and did a lot better with the Grail. But I was kind of surprised because this is my first time playing Foot Knight on Onslaught difficulties, like this evening. Had a couple of games. And I actually think it went surprisingly well, all things considered. Again, Foot Knight's not one of my main heroes, but I
don't think so.
Honestly surprised.
And I just realized I might want to turn down my settings a bit for this. Oh, it must be restarted for the settings, for some of the settings to occur. Well, no, I'm just, when we played Incursion, I had those massive FPS drops. I have a feeling it's gonna happen again.
Oh, here we're full on with the stagger build.
They're coming from behind us as well, the berserkers.
Oh, fuck. Didn't parry that one.
Got you.
Oh, that was stupid.
This is Onslaught squared, just so you know.
That happens when you press the wrong button.
Yes.
I'm coming back. I'm not coming back.
We did surprisingly well at the end, considering the inexperienced nature of the team in relation to Onslaught. But as you can see, a bit of a bumpy start, not gonna lie. But really, what I wanted to showcase primarily here is the frontlining nature of the Foot Knight, in which your primary moves are to push into a shield bash and provide the space needed for the rest of the team to do what they gotta do. I can pretty much stagger everything with the exception of a Chaos Warrior Heavy. You can actually build it so that you can stagger that as well, but I feel like that was giving up a little bit too much. See, there I have my ulti. Taking out a special.
Behind us.
Yeah. Coming down.
Got him.
See, just keeping everything in check here, and already you have your ulti back. Because of those shield bashes. Now the reason you can't hear me speak in game is because it was on the wrong setting, so I wasn't recording that.
I missed. Oh, it wasn't even going for me.
Now I gotta move back.
No serious attempts getting back into it. Had a long break where I haven't been playing any Onslaught at all. Almost none, at least, for a couple of months.
Boss right in front.
I was a bit away from ammo. Not gonna lie.
Lovely little post.
Boss on the right.
But I guess actually now that I think about it, it's because there was an ammo crate.
Hook right in front.
Join me. Right to slaughter. Get trusty.
Let's be real. Any person who plays a good Foot Knight is a chat. That's just a fact.
Is there a 7 patrol? Actually, it's a mix.
Beachy coming. Another dead weapon left. Savage.
Yeah, full there's a patrol.
I seem to recall fighting it, but it may have been a different run. I'm not entirely sure. Guess we'll find out. We played a bunch of games, so I honestly don't remember which one this is. All I know is that it's the one where I almost managed to clutch it out. Okay, just wanted to showcase that you can do that with the Foot Knight as well. In fact, he's a lot better at it than you might just think. And I feel like the Foot Knight deserves a little bit more love, you know what I mean? Because he's definitely, I think he's probably the single, might be the single coolest looking character in the game. That is actually entirely possible. I guess that's subjective, but he's definitely up there, that is for sure. Like, his armor looks so dope. when you have the all legend win skin.
Hold together, Marcus. You'll get through this.
Oh, what?
I got you.
And you can just keep an army of elites in complete check, right? And that is just, it's hard to devalue the usefulness of that. Again, he's a form of crowd control.
Well, so
sure
far this feels pretty manageable.
It's a different kind of crowd control than the Battle Wizard.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's not gonna stay that way. They're coming from behind as well.
So you can just prevent half an army from attacking. As long, and despite the fact that you can't cancel, at least not with this build, Chaos Warrior heavy attacks, as soon as the heavy attack is over and you get to stagger it, then you can really control it from there on and forth. That was an interesting move. Straight over to both the Blightstormers. And I was unlucky, right? Because I was mid-air, so I couldn't dodge it once I saw it.
I'm gonna get you up since I was here.
And yes, I
No!
just shift tap. Intentional! No, it was not.
Oh, come on.
That was the video.
Good evening.
Good evening. Person in the past.
Chaos Warriors behind you guys.
What is this? They didn't move! They didn't fucking move!
I tried to drag them a little bit away, give him some extra space.
Ah, fuck!
Yeah, okay, so this feels a bit more unmanageable with however many Chaos Warriors.
It's a lot. Haven't counted, but it's definitely. Get a health pot there.
Don't PK, I believe in you.
That's great. So I didn't. Not on a foot knight, I'm not gonna lie. I got way further than I actually thought myself that I would, considering the amount of foot knight. I seem to recall saying something like, "Really?" right there when I realized that the top part was blocked. I was like, "For fuck's sake!" This is where I really realized just the potential of the foot knight. I really felt like I got better this evening at playing the foot knight.
On the marketplace.
Because I'd never been pressured this much on him before.
I spawned at the top.
One on the left here, yeah.
And I seem to recall going, nope, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, that's a bad spawn.
If you think it's easier to get me on top,
Roll.
Oh my god.
Leave.
This is like Cataclysm Onslaught?
That's Onslaught squared.
Oh boy.
Cataclysm Onslaught square.
Do we just get down from here? I feel like I didn't have much of a choice.
Oh damn. That's something.
Well,
Hmm.
That's some precarious movement right there, not gonna lie.
Can't lie. Not feeling
Oh, yeah.
great.
Popping off as usual.
Honestly, it's the most fun I've had in quite
My
some
man.
time.
It was a
In
bit.
Vermintide.
Hyper carry.
Hanging by a thread here. Don't
I'm ready.
goes a plane run.
I seem to recall it. You better be.
Fire rat.
That was bad movement right there. I should not have moved down there. I was not prepared. I didn't see the troll.
I got the revive.
And ultimately, that's what doomed me.
I didn't get the revive the skeleton warriors. Bruh.
But anyways,
Wow. Holy
1
shit.
second.
regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully, you got a little bit of an insight into how you can possibly, potentially, play the Foot Knight. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Stay tuned for more videos. What hero would you like to see next? And as always, love you guys. Stay awesome. Peace out.